Welcome brawlers, I'm the Hermit and today we're going to be playing Hapatra Vizier of Poisons. For Golgari mana we get a 2/2 legendary human cleric. When she deals combat damage to a player, you put a -1 counter on a creature. And when you put a -1 counter on a creature, you make a snake token with Death Touch. So we want to get Hapatra to deal damage, we want to put counters on our opponent's stuff or maybe sometimes in our own stuff. And then we want to make use of the 1/1 snakes. So that means we're going to be playing cards from Lorwyn Eclipsed as well as Amonkhet, cards like Obelisk Spider, cards like Amit Eternal, Nest of Scarabs. Whenever you put one or more negative counters, you also make that many insect tokens. Amit Eternal puts counters on itself whenever our opponent casts a spell. We also have Box Leader's Embrace. It's a 2-mana exile, but we need to blight. Requiring Hex, we may blight, and it's essentially the lower end of Feral Push. We also have creatures that enter with counters like Moonshadow, Exemplar of Strength, Bristlebane Battler, and creatures that when they die, they put counters on a creature. Wild Bogart, Festering Mummy. We also have Obelisk Spider. When it deals combat damage to a creature, puts a counter on it. And then we have the sacrifice cards like White of the Reliquary, Vraska, or even Jogmod that also acts as a -counter synergy as well as a proliferate if we want to put more counters. Speaking of proliferate, we have Vraska, Betrayal Sting, 0 to draw a card and proliferate, -2 to make a creature add treasure, and we usually don't get to the -9. We also have a couple of big creatures, Blighted Blackthorn. When it enters or attacks, we may blight 2. If we do, we draw a card and lose a life. Infestation. When it enters, we put a negative counter on each creature. And we also get a copy of Blowfly Infestation. Which means whenever a creature dies, if it had a negative counter, or many more than one, we get to put one of those counters on target creature. Well, one of the negative counters. Massacre Girl, Known Killer. It makes our creatures deal damage in the form of negative counters. And then we have some other token synergies. Chatterfang, Peregrine Took. We make either a squirrel or a food token with our snake tokens. We also have Wings of Hubris as well as Thief's Tool so that we can equip onto Hapatra and make sure she hits our opponents. Other than that, we have some card advantage, Caustic Bronco, Dark Confidant, Phyrexian Arena, Necropotence, Necrodominance. So that's the deck. Now let's head into the queue, try to put some counters on some creatures, and get some snakes out of the deal. Okay, Caballero. I guess we can try it. Yeah, they are going to try to put something and reanimate it. We'll see if we can stop them somehow. Flitterwing Nuisance. Okay. They need another mana to remove the counter. And essentially draw a card. I think we will. Okay. They maybe had mana issues or something. Let's go to the next one. Okay. I'm also not too happy against Roxanne. just because when she enters, she deals 2 damage, which is just enough to kill our commander. And now they even have a blocker, so maybe we hold on playing Hapatra for a while. And we miss with our Inquisition. And immediately they draw a Badger Amonkhet. So yeah, kind of a terrible start.
I'm the best fire. Oh, today's my lucky day.
And I guess they can plus play Fury. Yeah,
Oh, this is
let's go to the next one. That was just unlucky for us. So against the elves, with this dissident, we can definitely get some snake tokens. Once upon a time, sure. For a forest. This is a cleric, shaman, demon. Guess we name human then. Light wine, surveil. Okay, let's keep the edict. Assassin's Trophy. Let's play you and get the Eternal as well. Yeah, that Assassin's Trophy is gonna win us the game, I'm afraid. And here we could even plumb the Forbidden to draw a bunch of cards. At least 3, maybe 4. Who knows? GG's opponent, I guess. Okay, here I think the fact that we are going to ramp with the Mox Amber is going to help us. But in case they have removal, we run out Umbral Collar Zealot first. Also, we need to Evendo before passing the turn. Almost missed that one. Thoughtseize. They see our Plum, our Deluge, and our Decay. Guess they don't like the card draw. Brotherhood's End. Damnation. Okay, opponent is running all the rats in the world without a care. Let's take Eternal Witness. Oh. Yeah, I guess they can Fury, didn't think about that. But even if they couldn't. You may play and cast. Okay. Yeah, the fact that we are not getting the land we needed. And the double wrath really slowed us down too much. They also took Plum the Forbidden, which would have helped a decent amount. So opponent played well. Good thoughts is on their part. GG's. What do we send away here? I wanna keep the Triumph, so maybe the Mummy? Opponent plays Birds. Let's see if we get a land here. And we do. The Nick. Actually, maybe let's play the Astronomer. Sacrifice the forest. Susur. Not attack. And we will bitter triumph. Opponent gets a Vendo. Station. Our opponent attacks, we block with the token. And we have... Will we sacrifice? Yeah, we can sacrifice the Eternal.
Death is obsolete. Stay.
They trade for our commander. We get Spectacle of Destruction on 1. They have Denic and Temporal Manipulation. Yeah, I guess this is the closest game we have so far. Or I think we can recover from this one.
Phyrexia marches on.
It's Weaver Puck. Let's see if we can get some removal for it.
Phyrexia spreads.
Let's sacrifice the Bronco, I think. Path to Exile. That gives us a snake. And a basic. The Eternal is going to die, unfortunately. And so is Braska. But maybe we can trade the snake for Puck. Yeah, here the card advantage is Denic versus our Spectacle.
I'll show you Drywalker something truly spectacular.
Greater Hoof Behemoth. Okay, I guess we lose then. Yep. At least it was close for a while. Yeah, all you need to do is attack opponent, so... a little disrespectful playing the Swords to Plowshares. But not too much. It's fine. GG's though. Okay, matchmaker. Are you really trying to get us against Ajani? Yeah, what did we do to deserve this? Bard Fist. Okay, let's go to the next one. Yeah, they're gonna equip onto the cat token and that's gonna kill. That's gonna transform Ajani, so GG's. Oh yeah. I guess we want to play the Halfling first, and then maybe Hex, one of their mana dorks. Llanowar Visionary. I think here we play Death Right and Spectacle, probably. Or maybe we could play Toski. This is an attack trigger, so... Arwen from opponent. blocks, we take the Arwen damage, and then what do we do next? They trade, we get an on-land with Spectacle. They don't. Well, we could have drawn any card with Dusky. Nebraska,
Phyrexia is as
make Boya into a
as the rise of the downtrodden.
treasure.
I see you, little pest. You have accomplished nothing.
They're gonna kill us here? I guess they might. Yeah, because they're gonna give Boya indestructible with Arwen, so we held off as long as we could. GG's. Let's see if we can dodge some counter spells with Kefka, but maybe they still have some counters. I mean, removal spells. Oh, Hapatra and pass. We don't want necessarily another land. Here we might put a counter on one of our creatures, probably the halfling. Hmm. So we play the astronomer, does opponent have a counter? Invert polarity. Let's attack, and here we will pass with mana open. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna help your opponent. Yep, we fit the cycle. We could also forage using a food, but I guess it's probably better to eat all of the foods we took with Pippin. The opponent did a bunch of nothing that game. They needed a Wrath at some point, but they either didn't draw it or didn't play it. Either way, we take it. GG's. Fairies, tempo control. Oh. Thoughtseize might not be ideal. Yes, here we play the Zealot. It's a big enough threat. Duality disruption. Let's get the Jet Collector as well. Maybe we should have gone for Exemplar of Strength. But I want to see if our opponent has a counter spell. More than anything. Okay, they might, but they chose not to play it. Removal spell. They cycle sensor. Okay. Let's also play the little guy and attack. Decline, I think. Sacrifice a creature. Yeah, that was a little backbreaking. Go for Toski. That's very nice. We needed exactly card advantage. And it can't be countered, so I mean, unless our opponent can bounce a spell. Maybe they have Cryptic, they can tap all of our stuff, draw a card. Stallion, oh, that's unfortunate. You block Hapatra, we draw 3 cards. I guess let's give them one here. Sacrifices a non-token creature. They sack their commander. Okay, they bounce Toski, but we still get to attack for a decent chunk. And if we need to hex, yeah, if we have a target for hex, I think we blight on the exemplar. Okay, they didn't like their blocks. We were going to draw 2 more cards. So yeah, not playing Hapatra again against Talion was probably best. GG's. Alrighty then. Tough Great Airbender. Oh, and it seems like they have their gemstone caverns here, so kudos to our opponent. Waiting Hex on that Dragaban. None of that for you, opponent. And I think I misplayed this one. I think this was meant to be the one that has Delirium. But still. We decline for now. Opponent cultivates. Utopia's Brawl. So this is not a snap. Okay. I thought it might be like a Titan. Primeval Titan. Or it's just stuff. An Earthbender Ascension. It's both stuff. That with Hapatra. Put a counter on the smaller forests. Oh, and there we have that discount. Thanks to the obelisk, no less. However, I think we are better off either Abrupt Decaying or Terra Sunder. Bridgeworks battle. Unfortunate. And it seems they are going to get their Nexus, which means we probably lose. Or maybe not quite yet. Let's see if we can make it work. Let's see their final card. Maybe, or maybe not, actually. We play Toski. Attack. Resolve, and because it's an artifact now, we can exile it with Terra Thunder. Okay. And we just win. GG's. Yeah, I didn't expect our opponent to concede, because this returns with Earthbending. They just needed to recast Tough, but I guess they didn't have a way to do that, while also surviving and not sacrificing Tough to something kind of dumb. Probably, yeah, they could have traded, see if they survived. They still had a chance, in my opinion, but who knows. I guess we could Mortality Spear on Tough, so we still take 9 Infect rather than 18. That would also make sense. Either way, good game stuff. And that's gonna be it for today. And one thing I will admit is I'm not 100% sold on Hapatra. She feels just a little clunky and there are too many pieces. Now, this deck overall feels strong, but I think that's mostly because of the overwhelming amount of good cards in Golgari, rather than just the synergies with Hapatra. But I still have some fun plays, some neat interactions that you can go through. Even we just saw the one with the Obelisk and Mortality Spear. It was out of nowhere, but it was fun. And same thing with the Wither cards, Infestation and Yawgmoth. Now, yeah, at some point I think if you want most of our strong cards, there's probably a better commander for them. Probably Cheville if you want to be annoying, if you want to be just Golgari midrange, remove all of your opponent's creatures, that kind of thing. Then Cheville is probably the best. Yeah, I think Cheville also targets Planeswalkers. If not, you can even choose Braco or Graven from the Omen Paths, also known as Spider-Man. But like I said, I'm not sold on Hapatra as a concept, but just more or less sold on Golgari as a color combination. Definitely strong enough to make a lesser commander a good one. So thank you for watching, I'm the Hermit, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.